Respected viewers, dear family of dreamers, there are moments in life, quiet, almost invisible moments, when destiny stands at your door, not with noise, but with a whisper. And most people, they miss it. Not because they are weak, but because they are distracted, chasing quick money, fearing slow progress, and doubting their own worth. Time keeps moving, wealth keeps shifting, and somewhere in between, a simple opportunity waits, patiently, for those who are ready to see it. I want you to pause for a second and ask yourself, how many times have you told yourself, one day, I will start, and that one day never came? Beloved listeners, life has a strange way of testing us through money, not because money is everything, but because the way we handle money reveals everything: our fears, our discipline, our patience, our vision. I remember a time, not long ago, when earning even a small amount online felt like climbing a mountain without a map. There was confusion, endless information, and everywhere you looked, someone was promising overnight success. And deep inside, there was a quiet voice saying, "What if this doesn't work for me?" That voice is not your enemy. It is your untrained mind, protecting you from failure, but also silently holding you back from growth. Many people remain stuck, not because they lack intelligence, but because they are waiting for certainty. They want guarantees before they take the first step. But life does not reward certainty. It rewards courage, followed by consistency. I have seen people with no resources, no connections, no special talent, slowly build streams of income, one small step at a time. And I have also seen people with great knowledge fail because they kept waiting for the perfect moment. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only a decision. You see, wealth is not built in grand moments. It is built in small, almost boring actions, repeated daily, when no one is watching. It is built when you choose discipline over comfort, patience over excitement, and long-term vision over short-term pleasure. There was a young man who once believed that money was something only lucky people could earn. He spent years scrolling, watching others succeed, while convincing himself that he didn't have what it takes. Every idea felt too risky. Every opportunity felt like a trap. Until one day, something changed. Not outside, but inside. He realized that the biggest risk was not losing money, but losing time. And time, once gone, never returns. So he started small, not with big dreams, but with simple actions. That is where everything begins. And today, I want to share with you, not complicated systems, not unrealistic promises, but 3 simple online income streams that anyone, yes, anyone, can start. But before we go there, you must understand something deeply. Money does not flow to those who chase it blindly. It flows to those who understand value, who respect time, and who are willing to be patient when results are invisible. The first stream begins with a skill, not a perfect skill, not a world-class talent, just a simple ability that solves a problem. In the beginning, it feels uncomfortable. You doubt your worth. You compare yourself to others, and you think, why would anyone pay me? But here's a quiet truth. People are not paying for perfection. They are paying for solutions. A writer who can write clearly, a designer who can create something visually appealing, a video editor who can tell a story. These are not extraordinary gifts, but they become valuable when used consistently. And yet, most people quit here. Why? Because the beginning is silent. No applause, no instant income, no recognition, just effort and doubt. This is where discipline is born. You must learn to work without immediate reward, to show up even when results are not visible, because every small action is shaping your future in ways you cannot yet see. There was a time when even earning $10 online felt like a victory, not because of the amount, but because it proved something powerful. It is possible. And once your mind accepts that, everything changes. The second stream is built on something even more powerful than skill: leverage. You see, when you exchange time for money, there is always a limit. But when you create something once and it continues to generate income, you step into a different world. This could be content, simple videos, helpful posts, or knowledge shared in a meaningful way. In the beginning, it feels like talking to an empty room. No views, no likes, no validation. And the mind whispers again, "This is not working." But what most people don't realize is that growth is happening. Silently. You are learning, improving, understanding your audience, building something real. And then, one day, slowly, things begin to move. A video gets noticed. A post reaches someone. An opportunity appears. But by that time, the people who succeed are not surprised, because they were not chasing results. They were building habits. Consistency is what turns small efforts into powerful outcomes. And the third stream is perhaps the most misunderstood: investing. Not gambling, not chasing quick profits, but patiently allowing your money to grow over time. This is where many people fail, not because they lack money, but because they lack patience. They want fast returns, quick wins, instant success. But real wealth is slow. It grows quietly, like a tree. And in the beginning, it looks like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are forming, strong, deep, unshakable, and one day that tree stands tall, providing shade, security, and peace. I have seen people lose money, not because they were unlucky, but because they were impatient. They entered markets without understanding, followed noise instead of wisdom, and expected results without discipline. And when things didn't go their way, they gave up. But those who succeed think differently. They respect time. They understand that small, consistent investments can turn into something meaningful if given enough patience. Dear family of dreamers, these three streams, skill, leverage, and investing, are not just ways to earn money. They are paths that teach you who you are. They test your patience, your discipline, your ability to stay calm when nothing seems to be working. Because the journey is not just about income, it is about transformation from doubt to belief, from fear to courage, from waiting to action. And as you sit here, listening quietly, perhaps there is a part of you that is still unsure, still waiting, still wondering. Can I really do this? The answer is not in the future. It is in your next decision. Because every successful journey begins the same way, with a small, uncertain, but courageous step taken in silence. Without applause, without certainty, but with quiet determination. And as that step is taken, something within you begins to shift. Not dramatically, not overnight, but slowly, like the first light of dawn breaking through darkness. You begin to realize that making money online is not just about strategies. It is about becoming the kind of person who deserves the results they seek. Because here is a truth, often ignored. Success is not withheld from you. It is prepared for you. As you prepare yourself, there will be days when nothing works. Days when your effort feels wasted, when your progress seems invisible, when doubt sits beside you like an unwanted companion. And in those moments, most people turn back. They tell themselves a story. Maybe this isn't for me. But those who quietly build something meaningful, they do something different. They continue, not because they are certain of success, but because they understand the cost of quitting. You see, quitting is not just stopping an action. It is reinforcing a belief that you are not capable. And every time you reinforce that belief, it becomes harder to break free. But when you continue, even in uncertainty, you begin to rewrite that belief. There was a woman who started sharing her knowledge online. Simple, honest, imperfect. For months, there was nothing. No audience, no income, no recognition, just silence. But she kept showing up. Not loudly, not desperately, but consistently. She improved her craft, one piece at a time. She listened more, spoke less, and focused on giving value rather than chasing attention. And then, slowly, something shifted. A few people began to notice. Then a few more. And over time, that small effort turned into something stable, something real. Not because she was lucky, but because she stayed. That is the quiet secret behind every successful online income stream. Staying when leaving feels easier. Beloved listeners, in this journey, emotional discipline matters more than technical skill, because your mind will play tricks on you. It will compare your beginning to someone else's middle. It will magnify your failures and minimize your progress. It will tempt you with shortcuts and distractions, and if you are not careful, you will start chasing everything and building nothing. This is why focus is wealth. To choose one path and walk it with patience, even when results are slow, is a rare strength. You do not need 10 income streams. You need one, built well, then another, added with wisdom, then another, grown with patience, layer by layer, not all at once, because trying to do everything often leads to doing nothing. There is also a silent sacrifice that no one talks about. You will have to say no to comfort, no to endless scrolling, no to distractions that steal your time without adding value. And sometimes you will feel alone in this journey, because while others are relaxing, you are building. While others are consuming, you are creating. While others are waiting, you are moving, and it won't always feel rewarding in the moment. But remember this: the life you desire is being shaped in those unseen hours. In the discipline you show when no one is watching, in the patience you hold when nothing seems to be happening, in the consistency you maintain when motivation fades, there is a calm power. In quiet progress, you don't need to prove anything to the world. You only need to prove to yourself that you can continue. Because once you build that trust within, everything changes. Opportunities begin to appear, not magically, but because you are now prepared to see them. You recognize value where others see nothing. You act where others hesitate. You persist where others quit. And slowly, almost quietly, your income begins to grow, not in sudden bursts, but in steady streams. A skill that pays you, a platform that supports you, investments that compound for you, and one day, you look back, not at a moment of luck, but at a series of small, disciplined choices that changed everything. This is the part of the journey where many people expect excitement, but what you will find instead is something deeper. Calm. Quiet confidence that does not need validation. A sense of control, not over the world, but over your own actions. And a realization that wealth is not just what you earn. It is who you become in the process. And in that becoming, something beautiful begins to unfold within you. You no longer chase money with urgency. You attract it with clarity. Your decisions become calmer, your actions more intentional, and your mind, no longer restless, begins to find peace in steady progress. Because now, you understand something most people spend their entire lives chasing without ever finding. That wealth is not a destination. It is a rhythm of earning, learning, growing, and patiently allowing time to do its quiet work. You wake up differently, not with anxiety, but with purpose, not asking, "How do I get rich quickly?" but gently reminding yourself, "What small step will I take today?" And that question changes everything, because it brings you back to what truly matters. Your skill, sharpened daily. Your leverage, built patiently. Your investments, growing silently. There is no rush now, because you have stepped out of the illusion of urgency and into the reality of consistency. You begin to see money, not as something to chase, but as something to manage wisely. You respect it, you protect it, and you allow it to serve you instead of control you. And with that, a quiet confidence takes root. Not loud, not showy, but deep and unshakable. You no longer compare your journey to others, because you understand every path has its own timing. You no longer fear slow progress, because you have seen how powerful it can become over time. And most importantly, you no longer doubt yourself, because you have proven through action that you can build patiently, consistently, and wisely. Beloved listeners, there will still be challenges, moments when things slow down, when results plateau, when uncertainty returns. But now, you are different. You don't panic. You don't rush. You pause. You reflect. And you continue. Because you know, this is part of the journey. Just like seasons change, so do results. And just like a wise investor, you remain steady, grounded, and patient. You trust the process, not blindly, but because you have lived it, because you have seen how small beginnings lead to meaningful outcomes, because you have felt the transformation within yourself. And that is the true reward, not just the income, but the peace, not just the success, but the clarity, not just the growth, but the understanding that you are in control of your direction, even if you cannot control the speed. And as you sit here, reflecting quietly, there is no pressure, no urgency, no fear, only a gentle awareness that your journey is yours, your pace is enough, your effort matters, and your future is being shaped, one calm, disciplined, intentional step at a time. Respected viewers, dear family of dreamers, if you have walked patiently through these moments, if you have listened not just with your ears, but with your heart, then you already feel it. That quiet shift within you, not loud, not dramatic, but real, because the truth was never hidden from you. It was simply waiting for you to slow down enough to understand it. That wealth is not built in urgency, but in patience, not in noise, but in quiet, consistent action, not in chasing everything, but in committing to something and nurturing it, day after day, with discipline and care. You came here searching for 3 simple income streams. And yes, they are simple. A skill that serves others, a system that works even when you rest, and an investment that grows quietly over time. But what you have truly discovered is far more valuable. You have discovered yourself, the version of you that does not give up easily, the version of you that understands the power of small beginnings, the version of you that no longer fears time, but uses it wisely. Because time is not your enemy, it is your greatest ally. When you learn to walk with it instead of racing against it, there will be days ahead when doubt returns, moments when progress feels slow, when the world around you moves faster, when others seem to succeed overnight. And in those moments, remember this: you are not building for today. You are building for a life where your income is not tied to your stress, a life where your decisions are not controlled by fear, a life where your mind is calm, your purpose is clear, and your path is steady. Do not rush this process. Do not compare this journey, and do not underestimate the power of what you are doing right now. Because every small step, every quiet effort, every disciplined choice is shaping a future that once felt impossible, and one day, not suddenly, but slowly, beautifully, you will look around and realize that the life you were once dreaming of has quietly become your reality. So move forward with calm confidence. Stay patient when results are invisible. Stay disciplined when motivation fades. Stay focused when distractions call your name. And above all, trust yourself. Because the path to abundance is not outside you, it has always been within you, waiting for you to begin.